Welcome to Legends League Weekly, Week 3. Week 2 was great. A little low scoring with the exception of Dearborn, but a great week nonetheless. Let's get on to Week 3. In a new segment, this week's Legends League not game of the week is between the 13th place A Hill Savage and the 14th place Ann Arbor Harambe's. The winner gets their first win of the season, while the loser moves on to 0-3. So this is a big game for both teams. We were able to get interviews with both owners. Here's what they had to say.
I am at the house of Sydney Royce, about to get an interview. Let's see what happens.
So, Sydney Royce, your season hasn't gone the way you wanted to. How do you feel about your upcoming matchup with the Ann Arbor Harambe's?
Well, it's in work in progress. I got something in the bag, to let you guys know. I got this week sold up.
It doesn't sound like you have a winning team coming this season.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. Don't worry. I got you guys.
We'll see. BNC Sports.
I'm not going to say this is a must-win, but 0-3 is a tough hole to climb out of. Was able to do it last year, but I'm not trying to scrap from the bottom of the barrel. Need this victory to get back into the middle mix of things. I like my matchup. Just need guys to hit their projections and hopefully come away with a victory.
This week's Legends League game of the week is between the first place A2 Headhunters and the second place Beaver Creek Munchers. We were able to get an interview with Beaver Creek Munchers owner Sammy Geiswhite, as well as A2 Headhunters owner David Hunt and his wife. Let's hear what they had to say.
I feel pretty confident about it. It's the first time I felt confident in this league in about 4 years. And I think I'm going to probably be going for championship this year. You got to be eager beaver,
The eager beaver.
Don't worry, I'll be coming home in October to prove to you guys that I am going to be number one by come December or late December. First place come October.
Man, so we're gonna fuck the Beaver Creek Munchers all up.
Who's a Beaver Creek Muncher?
They gonna be munching on this Ann Arbor mother. Them beavers gonna be out of wood this week. They're gonna have to find another stream to swim in. You heard it here first.
Welcome to the Week 3 Pick'em. We got Crane in the house tonight. Aaron's doing his picks via video conference. So let's get right to it. Our first matchup is Cairo versus Riverdale. What do you think, Crane?
I honestly think Jameis is going to bounce back and finally have a decent week. Evans and OJ are about to show up for him. And I think Thielen will start making more plays and have more opportunities. And with Kitchens coming out saying he wants to give more touches, I have to go with Riverdale here.
All right, Aaron, what do you think of this game?
I think Nick Chubb has 100 yards and a couple of touchdowns today. I expect a big game from Lamar Jackson, hopefully a huge game from Kerryon Johnson. I think the Cobras come through on this one.
Our next matchup is Inkster versus Dearborn. Inkster, I'm expecting for Johnson to have a tough game versus Carolina, but I do think Godwin will have a big game versus the Giants. Dearborn just has a lot of firepower in the lineup this week. Mixon and Hyde may have some tough games, but I don't really see a reason why they would lose this week, so I'm going with Dearborn. What do you think, Craig?
I know they've played a Steelers team that's still trying to figure out the offense, and now they lose Big Ben and Miami. We know how that's looking, but that New England D is tough, and it's going to help Dearborn win a lot of games, and I think they steal this one too.
Aaron, what do you think?
I really like the receivers for backbreaker. New England's defense has been unbelievable for the Hawks so far. I mean, they've proven last week, they can win a game by themselves, scoring 40-plus points. I'm liking Stafford in this matchup a lot, and upset of the week, I'm going to go with the backbreakers.
All right, our next matchup is Hale, Michigan versus the Wixom Hicks. Crane, what do you think?
I see Baker Mayfield struggling again. against that Rams front. And if Hell stays true to the current roster and they have to go into the bench to try and replace the receivers, if Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey are out, I don't know if Crowder can step up against Gilmore and company, so that's looking tough. I'm going to have to roll with Wixom.
Hell is just riddled with injuries. And it's tough to win when you got, 4 guys are hurt and Gordon's got your bench hostage. Should be an easy win for Wixom. Aaron, what do you got on this one?
I don't really like the tight end matchup for Hell this week. I think Tom Brady goes off against the Jets. I'm going to take the Hicks on this one. Tom Brady's going to have a really big game.
All right, our next matchup is Shelby versus Rochester. Crendog.
I'll have to go with Shelby in this one. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know what's been going on, but he finally has a big week and reminds us who he is. And Thursday Night Football, it's going to be the Leonard Fournette and Derrick Henry show, so he could put up probably 180 and a couple scores. Shelby.
It's going to be a close game to call, I think. Ingram might have a tough day versus Kansas City. I mean, they're actually pretty good against the run. They can't stop a pass or anything, but they're pretty good against the run. But I like the other matchups with the exception of Rodgers. I don't know. Maybe he could come out, but Denver is going to be a tough game. Rochester has, the top tight ends going right now. And Andrews is playing against KC. That's a pretty tasty matchup right there. So I'm going to take Rochester in the upset. Aaron, what do you like about this game?
I think Connor has a big game with Big Ben being out. I really question why Hawkinson's on the bench. I know he struggled last week, but he had, I think, the best week 1 ever for a rookie tight end. Hopefully you get him in your lineup because I think he's going to have a big game. Expect big things from Mark Ingram. I'm going to take the Twips in this one.
Our next matchup is the Vegas Golden Showers versus the Houston Cornells. For Houston, Evans has been a dud, man. But I think he's going to get back on track this week versus the Giants. And, I mean, McCall Hardman and Hollywood, that's probably going to be a loaded game right there. Calvin, man, the curse is real, fam. So you're headed to 0-3. Going with the Crens. Aaron, what do you think?
I don't know why he keeps playing O.J. Howard. The guy has been horrible all season long. This team is just kind of bandaged together by Patrick Mahomes because he's been so good. Dalvin Cook has been great as well. Let's see how long he can stay healthy. He's had a lot of injury problems in the past. Deshaun Watson has a big week. I'm going to go with the Showers.
Our next matchup is A-Hills versus the Ann Arbor Harambees in the Legends League not game of the week. For the Harambees, I'm a little unsure about Dallas versus Buffalo, but I don't know. OBJ might have a tough matchup, I don't know. It's going to be a tough little game, but for A-Hills, I just don't really see anybody in this lineup that scares me. It might be a long season for the Savage. I got to go with the Harambees to get their first win and get off the schneid. Kren, what do you think?
Yeah, I was scrolling through the lineups trying to find 2-3 guys I liked for A-Hills, and it was pretty tough. But I feel like this week the Harambees are about to hit on all cylinders with the new frontman Andy Dalton, and I think they take it, and Big Red is gonna light it up.
And our last matchup is Beaver Creek versus A2 in the Legends League game of the week. Kren, what do you think?
It's the battle of the early season number 1 and 2. Shoot, I hope both y'all could lose to propel me into first place after I wax these golden showers. But really, Dave, please forgive me. Your team's been lights out. A2 convincingly.
Aaron, what do you think about this matchup?
It's going to be a big game for the Headhunters for Dallas with, for the Headhunters with Dallas. The defense, Zeke, McCaffrey, and Edelman, I think will have huge games for the Munchers. I think this one's going to be closer than the predicted score says, but I'm going to go with the Headhunters. They're going to keep their first place standing.
I think the lineup looks good for Beaver Creek. I'm a little worried about Cook now that Breeze is out. And for A2, I mean, it's good matchups all around. It does kind of seem that Watkins is coming back down to earth a bit here. And, I mean, Matt Prater, I don't know what is going on with this guy right now. But I'm still going with the Headhunters in our game of the week. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck in week 3. We'll see you next week.